Welcome back to the other side of music. Today we are with Brandon Anderson. Hi.
Hey.
Um, I'm actually in a different location. We are at Brandon's studio. I thought it would be fun to come here today. And Brandon is a musician and a producer, obviously, because we're in his studio. He likes vinyl. And he engineers for other artists. So, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, as good as I can be
Good,
currently.
good.
But yeah.
Oh, and I want to tell everybody this is a different type of podcast. Today, this podcast is going to be a three-parter. Usually I just do the one, but we're going to have a three-parter. So this will be pretty informational, I guess, to say, for artists, venues, really anybody in the music industry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think this will be a good one. I think a lot of local artists there's so much like being an artist, and a lot of people don't realize all of the things that it takes to really kind of get your name and yourself out there. So this is kind of going to be a pretty big topic, I think, to kind of discuss. So.
All right, so let's start off with, do you think the music industry as a whole for indie artists is getting saturated?
I think that I wouldn't necessarily say saturated per se, but I do feel like there is so much more ways to open and just, I guess you could say, paths to navigate as an indie artist now. As an indie artist, back in the day, really before a lot of, sites like Bandcamp or SoundCloud, I mean, you really didn't have a way to kind of get your music out there as much. Obviously you can record and then sell CDs and try like on the back of your van. That's obviously a way, but now today I feel like there are so many different avenues for indie artists to get their music, and honestly it just seems like it's just, I guess more of that way is saturating, where it's like, oh, listen to me here, listen to me there, and you go to these sites and you just see all of these indie artists. You're like, oh my god, I never realized this many artists existed. So I think that's a really big thing. In a way, it's good because you can easily find new music easily. If you ever need to like search for like, I wonder what kind of new stuff or local stuff is out there, it's super easy to find it now, like really easy. However, as easy as it is to find it, is as easy as it is to kind of go down the rabbit hole of just being saturated or feeling like it's saturation with how many different artists you can discover. So
Okay.
yeah.
Now, with that being said, do you think maybe artists should think about going back to old school ways? I saw the other day, honestly, I cannot remember what artist it was, but he sells his music on cassettes, CDs, and digital flash drives.
Okay.
So, and my thought was, cassettes? Like, who has a cassette player now?
Yeah.
People must, because he said that's one of his top sellers.
Wow.
So, what do you think about that? Like, step back, go to a little old school?
Look, I 100% support that. I am all about it. I mean, as you can see behind us, you guys already know, I am into vinyl. So if there's an artist that comes at me and just say like I like their music, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's a way I can get that on vinyl, I'm in. I'm in. I'm 100% in. I think that really is something that can separate artists as well. Anyone, like, I could make a song now, and I could put that song on Spotify and Apple Music right now. But sometimes it's really awesome to be able to have something physical to say, like, not only is my music here, but, like, you can always just pop in the CD, or, a cassette. I have a cassette player only because I'm a nerd like that too. But I think that is a huge way to like differentiate yourself from other artists, because not many artists are doing that.
Right.
They don't think of that. Because most of people nowadays are just like, I don't know, you just easily listen to it on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I put in a CD? Like, most let's keep it real, most cars and vehicles in general do not have CD players in them now.
Yeah, true. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. No. So it's all Bluetooth. So if you could just have it on your phone, don't get me wrong, like it's super easy to whip out your phone and be like, play this song.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think there's something special. Now, to me, I feel like when I put on a record, like that's special for me because
Mm-hmm.
like not only am I deciding that I want to listen to a song,
Mm-hmm.
like it's almost like it's making me work for it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so I think that like you really have that itch of like, I gotta hear this song, and some people really want that physical media to just really take the time to like go through and listen to it that way.
Well, come on. You remember getting that album, any of these albums back here,
Yeah.
right? And you unwrap the plastic off of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you open the album,
Mm-hmm.
and it had, well, I guess now they would be called extras.
Mm-hmm.
There were extra photos in there. The lyrics.
Yes. That was huge.
The booklet of lyrics for every song, so you could actually sing along to the song and not make up words.
Right.
And what else? There was always something in there. So while you listened to the album, you were also reading along or reading excerpts about the artist or something like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Definitely.
And that is absolutely what I think is missing
Mm-hmm.
from streaming.
Oh, absolutely.
And being that it's missing from streaming, there's an artist I saw on TikTok. His song is called "I'm Getting Old." It's hysterical.
Nice.
So I downloaded it from Spotify, or on Spotify, and then I went to listen to it the other day, and it was missing. And I'm like, well, he decided it would take him forever to make like a couple bucks with streaming. So he took his song off of all platforms, and he's been selling it on his website.
Nice.
And he's killing it.
Nice.
It's working for him, So I think that, like, artists need to start thinking, I don't want to say outside the box because that's so cliche, but start thinking broader.
Right.
Different, and then push that different.
Okay.
Now, what was your favorite album growing up?
Oh my gosh. Geez, I had so many favorite, like, music in general because I tried to listen to a lot of different stuff growing up. I have an older sister, and she would always, like, just play just the most, like, different music that I wouldn't really hear so much on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always just kind of, like, it was funny because back then, there wasn't, like, the internet like that. So, yeah, she'd just buy CDs and, like, play them. I remember being downstairs in, like, our living room or dining room area, and we had, like, a little stereo there, and just pop a CD in and just kind of listen to it. And, like, I started liking some of that music. I will say, it's so hard because if we want to, like, talk about genres and stuff, like, I obviously grew up...
Bring it in, man.
Well...
One favorite.
It's so hard. It's so hard to think of my favorite album of all time. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Okay. So I was definitely, you could say I was a little bit of, and I wasn't really an angsty teenager, but, I was like, I definitely was a teeny bop, and I was like, the world hates me, kind of thing. But no, but honestly, I grew up listening, my favorite band is Linkin Park, and I grew up listening to Linkin Park. So Hybrid Theory was like an album I played almost on the daily, and it was, yeah, I'd be up in my room. I remember my parents, like, hated it. They'd be always like, turn that down. Getting yelled at all the time, turn it down. But, like, it was just like, I was really feeling it. So, yeah, I mean, so I definitely, I would 100% kind of have to just go with Linkin Park for now. But, oh my God, don't get me started. There's so much music out there that I love. So, I mean, listen, look at the wall behind us. Like, if you want an idea of the stuff I'm into, just look at my record collection. You can get an idea.
Now, what is your artist name?
So I just go by BA, and that's just literally my initials. In college, they always used to be like badass, but no. But yeah, I just go by BA, yeah, it just kind of worked for me. Short, simple,
Okay.
And yeah, that was always like my stage name. So.
And what kind of music?
I would say definitely more pop / hip hop, a little bit in there. You kind of mix that. Um, is the stuff you could probably find like on Spotify and stuff. I mean, if you like really go back, I've done some songs with like just piano and some kind of acoustic stuff, but yeah, I would definitely go more pop hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still making songs?
The recent project that I did was with my friend, and it was called Falling Papers.
Oh.
And it was, I would say it was about a year or so ago. We did that project, and it was really awesome. Yeah, it was good. We actually recorded everything here in the studio.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, if you guys go check it out, it's Apple Music, Spotify, all the other streaming services, Amazon, all that stuff. It's on there. So.
And it's under what name?
So you could look under BA, but if you actually also look under her name too, which is Amber Riggett,
okay,
it'll pop up, and if you type in like one of our names in Falling Papers, it'll show up there.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I knew that, but they did not know.
Yeah. This is true.
Now, you said pop and hip hop. This year, I guess, has been an interesting year for hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first year in a long time that there was not a hip hop song on the top 40 Billboard.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, no. I mean, there's probably a multitude of different reasons why this could be. I think that hip hop in general, first off, it's definitely mainstream. I think hip hop has 100% become mainstream. It's been mainstream for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that honestly, I've been seeing over the years more of a blend of pop artists and hip hop artists kind of coming together. And I think that, honestly, a lot of it kind of comes to, like you can have, just think of like, just random thing, but you could have a song coming from like Taylor Swift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have like a hip hop artist on that song. I mean, obviously it's gonna blow because it's Taylor Swift, but I think a lot of people really still enjoy hip hop. But maybe that, I think it's a little bit for someone to sit back and just kind of listen to like a lot of just full hip hop artists.
Mm-hmm.
Those are mainly going to be for like the die-hard hip hop artists and people that love hip hop to really sit down and listen to other hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
like a straight album like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like, you can get on a pop song and do like 8-16 bars and yeah, they'll love you. You'll be shooting up in the ranks. I think a lot of those songs are more popish, and I think that is still more mainstream than hip hop is. Pop is just popular music, so I think that's a little bit more mainstream. And yeah, I think that a lot of the songs that are on the top, Billboard Top 100, Top 40, they're pop, but there's usually someone in there kind of doing like a little hip hop as well in there. So I think it's still there, but I just don't think it's maybe as prevalent as it was back in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
So.
I think country music is not starting. It is everywhere, yeah?
Country music is definitely popping off, yeah.
Yeah. I remember there still are dedicated country music stations.
Mm-hmm.
But now sometimes I'll be listening to music, and no offense to any country musician out there at all. Country music is just not my favorite. It's not my forte. And sometimes listening to all of a sudden country shows up everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh. Though I will say, the country music today is not as bad as it used to be. Like it's not, all the songs aren't tearjerkers, so that's an improvement.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So what's your favorite food?
Jeez. Oh, that's a whole story. Okay. All right. If I actually say what it is, you guys are gonna be like, "Whoa, this dude is crazy."
Just say it.
However, did you say like my favorite meal is orange chicken and like scrambled eggs and like it's orange chicken, scrambled eggs, and like
Together?
yes, together.
All right.
And I don't want to say Velveeta cheese, but like it's basically like nacho cheese. Let's keep it real. It's nacho cheese throughout. Okay, there's a little story behind this, guys.
Please
There's
share
a little
the
story. No, I mean
story.
it's really not that big of a story, honestly. Okay, I went to college, all right, and I remember we had this place where I went to school. It's at West Liberty, and they had like the cafe, right? It was just like a place where everyone went to eat, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I remember, I don't know why, I've always liked orange chicken, and I always like scrambled eggs. And I remember I went in for breakfast one day, and they just ran, for some reason, like they had orange chicken alongside with all the rest of the stuff. And like I'm a big breakfast guy in general, like I love breakfast food. So I was like, wow, why would they have orange chicken? I was like, I like orange chicken. But then I was like, I don't know if this would be like good with scrambled eggs. And then like I had some friends that like went to breakfast with me, and they were like, just try it. I'm like, all right. So I grabbed some, threw it on a plate, and I don't know where the nacho cheese came in because I love cheese with my eggs. But then I was like, they had nacho cheese instead of just like regular cheese. I'm like, let me spread. I have never tried nacho cheese with like eggs. So I'm like, all right. So then I spread it on my eggs, and I tasted it with eggs. I'm like, this is really good. And I was like, would it be good with the orange chicken? So then I put a little orange chicken, and it popped off for me. Like, I was like, wow. So, so I remember I would like go into breakfast like almost every day. Like, and sometimes they would have the orange chicken, sometimes they wouldn't. But oh my God, when they had the orange chicken, sometimes they'd have it for like dinner too. Oh my, it was a wrap for me. I would leave that lunchroom and I was gone to like I'm telling you guys, like I definitely gained weight. Like I gained a ton of weight while I was in college. But I'm telling you, like I could barely walk coming out of the room sometimes. I just loaded up, and it was like my favorite. And I remember like going on the weekends asking my mom, like, "Hey mom, can you make this for me?" It was an absolute no. Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. It's like this is the most insane thing. But it is still to me, it is still a banger for me. So that's my fave. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming
Yeah.
at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm random like that. Wow.
And you make it now?
If I can, yeah. Anytime I can get it now, I'm all for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right.
This guy's white.
Well, like I said, I didn't expect that answer, but you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Made me lose my train of thought. So, if you could perform with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is crazy. What a hard question. Like, knowing that I love so many artists, jeez. That is insane.
Okay, let's do it this way. If you could perform in a showcase with 8 other artists, who would it be?
Oh my god.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, 8 other artists, I don't even know. Okay, so I would definitely say, obviously, Linkin Park. That's for sure. Man, there's so many good hip-hop artists I want to, like, perform with. There's an artist that I like. He's definitely more of, like, a Christian artist, but his name is Andy Mineo.
Okay.
And he's super cool. Would love to perform with him. Just be jumping around. Michael Jackson. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I would. This is gonna sound crazy. I would do Avril Lavigne. Because like I like a lot of her music.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be cool just to like jump around on stage. with her and just kind of rock out, you know.
That's 4 so far.
All right. Man. I'm just trying to think. It's difficult because I have a ton of people in my head, but it's like, who do I choose? Who do I choose? I would say for the 5th person, this is gonna be a little weird, but no, I would definitely do it. I would rock out with Kanye West
Pre-Kardashian?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, I think that would be an amazing show to rock out and kind of be a part of that. Mind-blowing. Jeez. Put me on the spot with some of these.
It's your interview.
I know. It's wild. Just looking at some of the artists that I really enjoy that I would definitely perform with.
What about Etta James?
Ooh, Etta James is good. I mean, she's definitely obviously a little more soul.
Well, it could be anybody. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Yeah, Etta James would be cool. I would really like to rock out with Etta James. I think more the big artists. I don't want to say big artists. Hall & Oates.
I love Hall & Oates.
Yo, we could pause it at yeah, Hall & Oates would be crazy to perform with.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely. I also think DJ. I'd have to have both of them. DJ Jazzy Jeff and Will.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'd have to have both though, not just Will.
You to make things go back.
Yeah, I'd have to have both of them on stage, killing it. Like,
okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be a great show.
That would be crazy.
I'd go to that show.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to charge more than $10 at the door, though, for sure.
Oh, of course.
Let's talk about that. When you think about people only charging $10 at the door, I see it 2 ways.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to, $10 at the door is, well, in this economy it might be something, but usually it's nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. But $10 at the door, how long have they been charging $10 at the door?
Right.
Like, none of the artists are making money.
Right.
And even though people say, I'll perform for free, well, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But I'll perform for free. I mean, get your worthwhile. $10 at the door. If it's more than just you in the show, even if it's just you, like, everybody else has raised their prices. I'm not saying charge, $80 at the door, but what do you think about, like, increasing that price some?
Well,
depending on the show.
It depends on the show. I think that's a really big thing. It depends on the venue, depends on the show. Okay, so here's how I look at it. Like, I think $10 at the door is 100% attractive. I mean, if you're someone that is consuming the show, I mean, $10 at the door is a banger right there. Why wouldn't I go to that show? It's $10. Right. However, there obviously are factors to this, right? So $10 really isn't going to produce too much revenue for you, and it's not going to produce that much to give to the artist if they are performing at your venue and you are paying them to perform at your venue. So $10 a door is it's not practical, realistically. So I would have to say, obviously, it depends on how large is your venue, how big is this venue. Right? Is it a small, hole-in-the-wall venue where there's really not too much, it's not big, there's not much really happening? Or are we talking a decently sized venue where you gotta, have a lot of people on staff? You gotta, pay the bills. So I think that's a huge factor is the venue size. And then obviously the factor is who is coming to perform at your place, right? Is it no-name people, not so much, or is it people that are already somewhat successful in their musical career? Because $10 at a venue is not going to cut it.
Right.
No matter where you're performing at. So I think that it really, honestly, just depends on those factors. I think that if you maybe like, I don't know, you throw something easy at people, $10, you get this show. I think that could be like a door opener, and then once you kind of start establishing a client base of having people come to your venue, I think that you got to get those prices up. You got to get those prices up, or you're not going to have better talent come to your place. Period.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want to use $10, if you don't really have a big place and you don't really have like named people really come into your place to perform, $10 is fine. Keep it rocking. But if you want to grow and you want to, someday have a better venue, you want to have better talent, you got to start jumping the prices up, and you got to like say like, no, this is it. And I also think like you can't have like $10 coming in and then try to jump it, but when you jump it, you aren't bringing the quality as well. I think that's a big thing. So
okay,
you can't just be like, oh hey, but this show is going to be $25, but it's still like the same venue, same kind of artist. Like you can't do that.
Right.
You got to step it up, and I think that that's a huge part. So yeah, that's how I think about it.
All right.
Yeah.
No, that's some good insight.
Yeah.
So, what would your advice be to newish indie artists out there?
Oh man, it's kind of crazy because like I'm still like a little bit of an artist myself, so.
Well, yeah, so.
Yeah. No. Obviously, like it's tough. Like being an indie artist is tough, especially if you don't have a team. I think like the biggest thing is having that team, right? Because a lot of indie artists, real life is real life, and sometimes you can't just immediately say, oh, I'm a musical artist now, and I'm going to live off of my music.
No,
it does not work that way.
No.
So what does that mean? That means you have to then get another source of income, and that usually means a job. And having a job obviously means that now that's time taken away from making music or working on, okay, well, how do I get to this venue, or how do I, work on recording things. That's going to take time away. So it's really tough, I think, like being an artist and just finding the time to do your art. Now, obviously, when you get to a point where, maybe you have performed at some local venues and you've established, say, a little bit of, a little know around with the local community, and, people are like, yeah, we want you to perform here, and little things like that. I think at that point in time, once that kind of starts kicking off, I think you really need to kind of focus on, okay, my next step is, I've been performing here, I'm starting to get a little bit my hands tied into this place, and I'm starting to get a little bit of buzz going here. I think you really need to start to look, which kind of sucks because you're still struggling, but I really think that you need to look into focusing on getting a crew together. And I think that crew really needs to be like all in to help you, because you just cannot do it on your own. Like to be the frontman, but also be on the side of like marketing and everything else that goes into being an artist. There's so many facets of being an artist and what needs to happen for you to keep climbing as an artist. And you can't really do that alone.
Right.
Like you need people to help you with that. And I think that the first step is obviously let people hear you. Play those free shows, rock out. But I think that once you start actually getting a little name for yourself, then you got to start saying, okay, my social media is starting to grow. Things are happening. All right, let's look at taking it to the next level. We need some people on board. We need to say like, hey, this is what I can do. I need help with marketing. I need help with, figuring out what other venues could accept me to jump up to get to that next level. And I think that, you're only going to find and be able to have time to do that when other people are also helping you. So
very nice.
That's my advice.
And my last piece is, for part one, give me your thoughts on open mics. Are they worth it? Are
Absolutely.
they not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If it wasn't for open mics, I wouldn't even I don't even know if I would be doing what I'm doing or have the courage to be on stage ever and perform. My like open mics were in college, and that's where I met a lot of amazing people
Mhm.
in my open mics, and I can't imagine not having an open mic because like here's the thing, like not everybody wants to be a freaking amazing artist. Like
Mhm.
no one's just like ever like I need to be super famous all the time. Like that's my mindset. So like you always have those artists that are going to strive to be as good as they can, but then you may have someone who just loves to sing.
Mhm.
What happens to those people? Like they need a place or an area where they can just get on stage and like sing a song they like.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all they really want to do. And I think having that open mic is a perfect place to do that. And you never know. Like I found a couple artists um, that did an open mic, and I heard them, and I was like, oh my god, I need to talk to them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, wow, their voice is great, or I love that song they performed. Like, and I think that could also establish relationships doing
Mhm.
open mics. So I am 1,000% like on board with having open mics places. I think that's like a huge thing, and I mean, I think we're gonna maybe discuss this down the road, but just like a little snippet, I think that that would be an amazing way if you owned a venue
Mhm.
to kind of get some people in. So,
Yeah.
but we can talk about that later.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yep.
This was the end of part one, getting to know Brandon. We'll be back in a few minutes with part two of his take on what are some um, potential problems that indie artists everywhere may be facing these days. We'll be back.